Hey you guys, I just want to thank you so much for subscribing to my YouTube channel, and I hope and pray that these videos have been a blessing to you and an inspiration to you. And so I want to run through just a little synopsis of what I believe music is, and also give a word of encouragement to every gospel musician, church musician, whether you're beginner, intermediate, or pro, male or female. I just want to give you a word of encouragement. And so for me, I believe that music, from my own opinion, music is a way of expressing who we are. You know, each and every one of us, we all have, different traits that makes us, unique, that pretty much helps us to stand out as individuals. And so, for music, music is a way of expressing ourselves in terms of, how we feel and our perspective about life, And so, it's been said many times that, when you're playing your instrument, playing is just like talking, and so everyone has their own vocabulary, and so it doesn't matter how big or how small your vocabulary is, you know, your playing is pretty much a reflection of the way you speak. And so I definitely want to, encourage you to continue to use your voice in your playing, continue to just be you, just be authentically you. And so it's okay to be inspired by others. It's okay to be inspired by so many greats in the industry, you know. But at the same time, allow those people that you look up to, for me, for example, I look up to people like the all-time greats in gospel music, like Kevin Bond, Mike Burrell, Jason White, Aaron Lindsay, another Rodney named Rodney East from Chicago, Jason Tyson, who is also from Chicago, and so many others that I look up to. Um, as much as I, admire their playing, for me, and this might sound weird, for me personally, I just allow, what it is that they do to be a voice of encouragement to me to explore things on my own when I'm spending time with my instrument, when I'm spending alone time with my instrument. And so, I think that's the best way of just, being able to, you know, experience new things, discover new things is when you're having private time with your instrument, just you and your instrument. And so the more you spend time together, the more you spend quality time together, you'll start to learn more things about each other, just you and your instrument. And so definitely, definitely. So um, always, always be open to learn, be an open book, you know, continue to, expand your horizons, your musical vocabulary, by listening to other genres of music as well. And so I also want to say that, when it comes to songs, when it comes to, playing cover songs, I could definitely testify from my experience, from all the songs that I've learned growing up in church. Um, the majority of songs I learned in church are songs I pretty much never heard before. And this was when I was younger, when I was coming up as a young musician in church. And so I remember hearing some brand new songs that I never heard before on Sunday morning. And of course, when you hear a song that you never heard before, you have to play it. You have to, figure it out and go with the flow and take that home with you and work on it, and do some research, do some studying, learn the song the way it's written, and at the same time, once you master that, once you learn, how the song is written backward and forward, inside out, you know, then you're free to, embellish it the way you want it, to pretty much put pieces of who you are inside that song, pretty much immerse yourself into the song, And so for me, every song I play, whether it's a song by Marvin Sapp or Donnie McClurkin, Donald Lawrence, Yolanda Adams, any artist, For me personally, whenever I'm playing a song by any of these artists, for me, if the song speaks to me on a personal level to the point where I can actually relate to the writer, then my playing of that song is pretty much my reaction, my way of response to the songwriter, to whoever wrote the song, whoever wrote the music to it. It's pretty much my way of responding. And if there's a song that I can't connect with, I don't play it. I don't play something if I don't mean it. You know, I don't play something if I don't feel it, if I can't feel it, you know. And so I think that's important. Once you get into a place where you just feel like that you could connect with the writer one on one, you know, then you're free to pretty much take the song to a whole nother stratosphere. Learning the song as it's written, and at the same time, having it in your mind about, you know, what can I do that's just a little different? How would I personally approach the song? What can I do to help, you know, take the song to another to another realm, you know? And so these are the kind of things I think about when I'm doing cover songs, because for me, I never want to sound like the artist. I never want to, you know, mimic or try to recreate what's already been produced into the earth. So for me, I just take a song, for example, it can be a song as simple as Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. It can be a song as simple as that, and there are many variations of that song. And so, to be honest, not many of us, know or heard, the original version of that song. We pretty much heard that song, growing up, our childhood, we pretty much, grew up listening to these songs like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, Row, Row, Row Your Boat, This Old Man, and the list just goes on and on and on. And so there are so many different versions of those songs in particular. You know, it's the same thing with gospel music, and so, we have the tutorial videos and things like that that show you how to play the song. But, if you really want to stand out of the crowd, if you really want to, take a chance and be an innovator, you know, definitely, seize the opportunity to, be able to come up with new ideas of how you personally approach the song. And so, you know, like I said, this all goes back to, allowing that song, whatever song that you love, allowing that song to connect to you personally where you can really relate to the writer, you know. And so I believe that that's important, because for me, there's been many instances where, you know, um, I went through some things personally in my life, and any song that I would hear on that given day pretty much would speak to me where I was. And so with that, I was able to actually, listen to the writer's heart, listen to where he or she is coming from, and to be able to respond, you know, by by sharing, what it is that I went through in a musical form, in the form of playing. And so my playing of any cover song in particular, the way I would arrange it in particular, it's pretty much my reaction to it. And so, for me, I'm inspired by so many different players. I'm inspired by Kevin. I'm inspired by, Aaron, by Jason, all these amazing musicians, But at the same time, I allow these guys to just be a voice of encouragement to me to explore things on my own, you know, to to take a song and figure it out the way I hear it. And so I think that's the best and the most liberating feeling to be able to, take a song and play it, you know, your own way, and do whatever you want to it. And so it's a liberating thing. It pretty much saves you all the stress and all of the pressure of trying to emulate somebody else, no matter how much you admire a certain player, to the point where you try to emulate them, it's overwhelming. And so I definitely went through that when I was younger. When I was coming up as a young musician, where I went through a point of trying to mimic somebody else. And to the point where it was just overwhelming, where it was just too much for me, and I had to be honest with myself, saying that, saying that, what they did is nice, but I can't do what they do. I can't do what Kevin does. I can't do what Jason does. I can't do what any of these guys do. I can just be me, All I can do is just simply be me, you know? And that's the best feeling. It's just, being yourself, and so you can never ever go wrong with just being you, so what if it doesn't sound like the album? You know, it's okay, it's okay, learn the songs it's written, of course, but at the same time, you have to find the right places to put, yourself, to pretty much, see what you can do different, in the song, but you have to find the right spots to put it in, and so that's the thing. And so, yeah. And so I definitely want to, encourage you, young or older musicians who are starting out, who are beginners, intermediate, or pros, um, whether you've been playing for 5 years, 10 years, or 20 years, I just want to give you a word of encouragement to just, just be you. Just be authentically you. You can never ever go wrong with just being you, because, it's understandable that we live in a, we all pretty much know that we live in a society where, one of our personal idiosyncrasies is social acceptance and validation, you know. And so everybody wants to, achieve something. Everybody wants to, feel, special, you know, mainly because of something that's happened in their life, a tragic moment that's happened in their lives, difficulties in a home with family and all that stuff. You know, um, a lot of people, go through so many different things and they try to, find something that can help them to cope, you know. And so, for those who feel like they've been isolated, for those who crave to be, in a group, because, it's been said that there's safety in numbers, you know, and, but if you really want to, do something, that can make a difference, contribute something of your own to the world, giving your own personal present to the world, definitely don't be afraid to stand out and take a chance and do something different and be an innovator, And so we all we all can be creative. We all can come up with so many ingenious things. And there are a lot of things, that has not that is yet to be, revealed to the world, And so, we have all this stuff, all the technology and all that stuff. Technology is great, you know, but when it comes to actually, coming out with the idea to, engineer something, something new, something different, something that's, so ingenious, something that nobody has ever done before, and you hear people say, "Ah, that's impossible. It'll never happen." But, all you can do is just stick to your guns and just, believe in your heart that it's going to happen, that you have something inside of you to give, And so continue to hold on to that. Continue to just be authentically you, continue to, explore new things, in your playing, in your musicianship, you know, continue to discover new things about yourself, not just as a musician, but as yourself as an individual, you know. The more you look in the mirror, the more you fall in love with who you are, and the more you want to, enhance who you are by enhancing your vocabulary, anything, whether it's, um, self-education, self-education is important, so it's important to pretty much, keep yourself informed, because the learning never stops in high school. The learning never stops when you graduate from college, so this is a lifestyle of constant learning. And so I believe that we all can learn, and so it doesn't matter how much you know. It really doesn't matter. You don't have to know everything. Just make sure that the things that you learn pretty much, pretty much applies to you and will help to benefit you, who you are, you know? And so, yeah, that's why I wanted to share with you. And so, continue to just be you, be authentically you, continue to discover amazing things about yourself, Continue to discover new things about yourself, you know, things that you never knew existed. Continue to discover new things about yourself, about what you can do from a creative perspective. So continue to discover, continue to explore. There's no end to it. It just goes on and on and on. And that's the fun about it. There's always so much to explore, and it's always exciting to discover something new. I'm always discovering something new all the time. And so I'm always excited, to just look for more, for much more. And so definitely, be open to learn as much as you can, you know, continue to explore, continue to, enhance who you are, develop who you are, enhance who you are, and amplify who you are, you know? So once again, I want to thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. And I pray that these videos have been a blessing to you, and continue to be the best that you can be, the best musician that can be, the best musician that you can be, but most of all, be the best you yourself that you can be, because we all have something to give to the world, and what you have to give to the world is important. So always bear that in mind. And so once again, thank you so much. God bless you. Continue to press forward into greatness. In Jesus' name. Take care.